Yeah, it's kind of interesting how I've evolved into ag because I was, had friends in high school, one particularly that had a small cattle farm, and so I was always out there knocking around with them, working a little bit, helping them do this and that. And then when I got in college, met a guy that had a pretty good size operation in Virginia, and we used to go up there and work. And then, halfway through the University of Georgia, I switched my major into the Ag, Mech, and Tech program, which was part of Ag Engineering. So went from thinking I wanted to go to business school to going as far away from that, on campus anyway, to Driftmeyer Engineering up there. And so I learned a lot about business and agriculture, through my college education. And then when I got involved in politics too, ended up serving on the Ag Committee, was doing budget stuff in higher ed, so got tied into the research and extension part of Ag through the B budget at the University of Georgia and through the Regents system, and learned about land grant, the mission, what was going on, supporting farmers and agribusiness, and I learned very quickly how important that was, but also saw the economic impact of agriculture, and my Senate district was always in the top 5 in farm gate value, even though I was from Athens, Georgia, because there's just so much ag in the rural areas around Athens, and then you partner what's going on at the school or the college, and then with research and extension, that really made me understand how important it was for our state and for our economic well-being, being the #1 economic driver in the state. And then on the business side of things, I just ended up evolving, investing in some ag-based companies, and still involved in that now, some agribusiness stuff, and then also just a row crop farming operation. So, I understand how hard it is, but we have great opportunity here, and I'm going to be a governor that's going to support and help develop that. Well, I feel like, if you're going to be governor, you need to govern the whole state. I learned so much as, one of my goals as Secretary of State when I first got in office, being a statewide elected official, was to travel to all 159 counties. So I could truly say I'm representing the whole state, and we worked with every county in the Secretary of State's office, all the elections officials, the election boards, the county registrars, and a lot of the probate judges. And I just learned an awful lot about our state. I saw a lot of the despair that's going on out there, and I felt like we need someone to tackle that and address that and work with those folks in the local communities to try to do something about that. But I also know how important that is for our state, and I see a lot of opportunity there. As challenging as some things are on the farm right now or in rural Georgia, there's also a lot of opportunity there. And I just felt like it was time for us to have a governor that would talk about that, not be afraid to talk about it wherever they were, and seize on that opportunity. And the thing that's interesting, and I felt this was the case, but even people right here, at the Capitol and in the metro area understand that it is not good for us to be dying on the vine in rural Georgia. I mean, people here understand that, they support that, and I just felt like that was a message that, #1, it needed to be talked about, but #2, it needs to be addressed, and thankfully people understand that, and they support it. Yeah, I think that's one of the challenges, quite honestly, is just educating the general public on farm practices, how important it is that, people always joke about it, but it's really true. Groceries don't come from the grocery store, it comes, or the food doesn't, it comes from the farm, and in many cases, whether that's a produce farm or, livestock operation or whatever it is, and people have to understand that. And, I think that's a role that the government can have, is helping facilitate that and make sure that, the farming community and agribusiness people are good stewards, and they are. They're the best ones. But a lot of people don't understand that, and you always have people that have political agendas, and a lot of times that's driven by money and constituencies, and that's part of the politics of all this. But I'm definitely going to be a governor that's going to try to help educate and have people understand, but also stand up and fight when we need to for different rights that have made our state great and very unique to other people. And we're in I know the former dean of the ag school at UGA, Scott Angle, he really felt like Georgia, and he did a lot to help with this, helping feed developing countries, and that's going to continue to be, I think, a mission of our state and the United States, is to help feed people around the world. And it's also a great economic benefit to us for doing that. And I think it's good for young people to understand that there's great opportunities. I mean, I've been talking to my 3 daughters about, thinking about career in ag, or at least, ag-based majors. You think about animal science and other things. I mean, there's just great opportunities, post-graduation for that.